Morning. Good morning, good morning. Get my paints ready for mandala practice. You can use paints or pencils, charcoal, markers, ink, coffee, tea. You've reached our Mandala universes, where we get together every day at 8 a.m. Pacific time and we draw mandalas. Mandala is the Sanskrit word for circle. Good morning, Ms. M. And we start with the circle as a container for our inner world as we are experiencing it right here, right now. Yeah. And we've been doing this for 5.5 years, close to 5.5 years, every day. Here's yesterday's, the sugi tree. Good morning, Deb. Happy Sunday to you all. Today is the last day of August 2025. Oh, wait. 312025. Anemone, angelfish will be over today. I'm very congested this morning, and so I apologize in advance for any throat clearing that I do. Woke up really stuffy. Good morning, Amy. How are you doing? Are you back in Wisconsin, or are you still in the Pacific Northwest? I hope that your time out here was really, really wonderful, and I can't wait for you to come out in September. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I hope everyone has a nice warm cup of something. I got some good chai going. Amy is still in the Pacific Northwest, enjoying for a few additional days, soaking up a cool morning. Nice. Deb is checking in, maybe sleepy, it looks like. I am a little bit sleepy as well. Oh my god. Contagious yawn. Went to a fantastic movie last night at one of our independent theaters here. Saw a documentary about Jeff Buckley. I don't know if y'all remember him or know about him. He was a really unique singer-songwriter from the 90s who made a huge impression and then tragically died. It was a really, really good documentary, and it was told mostly through the eyes of the women in his life. There were definitely like a lot of others, but some of the people who got the major time are the women in his life, and it was really cool. There's a growling dog in the background. Our little dude had a very rough day yesterday, but he seems to be doing better today. Yeah, I'm feeling tired and inspired. The documentary was very moving. And just watching that kind of like musical, I don't know what it was, genius, musical channeling, musical, I don't know what, but if you're not familiar with him, I really recommend checking out his album Grace. Jeff Buckley, Grace. Ms. M says she's still on caretaking duty, finding time to sew this holiday. Oh, yeah, it's a holiday weekend. It completely snuck up on me so hard. This is the weekend that for years I would go down to Southern California and do this bicycle bar crawl in costumes. That was just really fun, and I made some good friends through that. It was like a friend of a friend initially told me to go down and check it out, and I did, and then I just loved it. Did it every year for a long time with one of my best buddies. Even when he moved back to DC, we would meet up there every Labor Day weekend. It was a blast. And yeah, I think 2019 was the last year we did that. Never came back. Well, it's 6 after the hour. And maybe some nice grounding would bring us all into the really, really here and now. So I'm going to do that. I had a hard time finding a reading today, but there's this book. Oh, look. I think that is in the direction in which you can read it. Pronoia by Rob Bresney. And pronoia is like the opposite of paranoia. So it's believing that the entire universe is conspiring to help you live your fullest life. And I just love that idea. Oh, Jenny's here and Cheryl is here. Good morning to you both. And Cheryl is got a busy work weekend. Yes, you do. Oh, girl, I am sending you lots of just fortitude to have a good weekend. Yeah, have a good holiday weekend. We are just about to start grounding. If you'd like to check in the chat, please do so. I invite you to get comfortable. I'm going to even out my sit bones. And I'm going to bring my shoulders up and roll them back a little bit. And imagine the thread being pulled up from the crown of your head. Just bringing some length to your spine. In a way that doesn't feel like it's too much efforting. Putting your feet flat on the ground. Or if you're laying down, uncross anything that's crossed and just come into a place of stillness. If it feels good to you, you can close your eyes. If you want to look around the room first, just let your nervous system know that you're safe where you are. And I invite you to just listen. Many life processes unfold outside of your conscious awareness. Your body digesting food and circulating your blood. Trees using carbon dioxide, water, and sunlight to synthesize their nourishment. Microorganisms in the soil beneath your feet, endlessly toiling to create humus. You don't perceive any of these things directly. They're invisible to you. Tune in to this vitalizing alchemy. Use your X-ray vision and subsonic hearing and psychic smelling. See if you can absorb by osmosis some of the euphoria of the trees as they soak in the sunlight from above and water from below. Breathe in the love. Breathe out the jive. Breathe in the mystery. Breathe out the history. Breathe in the luminosity. Breathe out the grandiosity. And just notice what you notice about those invisible processes happening within you and around you. Breathe in the love. Breathe out the jive. Breathe in the mystery. Breathe out the history. Breathe in the luminosity. Breathe out the grandiosity. And whenever you are ready, at your own pace, in your own rhythm, finishing some deep breaths, and fluttering your eyes open if they were closed, and coming to the page. Jenny is checking in apprehensive. And Ms. M says, perceive this alchemy. Laura's here. Good morning, Laura. Laura's checking in heavy. So for anyone joining later who's new, you start with a circle, and I like to draw my circle with one complete breath, kind of continuing the breathing practice. So I start at the top, but you can start anywhere, and I go around, inhale, exhale. Some people like to go around and around and around and around. That can feel really, really good sometimes to me. Jenny, I know that you're a big lover of music and you listen to quite a lot of male vocalist, singer, songwriter people. And I was saying earlier, I think before you got here, that I saw a documentary about Jeff Buckley last night. I think it's called It Never Ends. It Never Ends? Yeah, I think it's called It Never Ends, Jeff Buckley. And I don't know if you're familiar with him. I think you're in the kind of right age range to know of him. But yeah, I think you would really like him. Jeff Buckley, his album Grace is a great place to start. Ms. M says, yeah, Jeff Buckley, It's Never Over. Have you seen it, Ms. M? Good morning, Leticia. We're glad you're here. So there's this I don't know if you call it a condition or it's a medically recognized experience that frequently happens in Florence, Italy, because of the sheer number of great Western artworks that are in that city. It's called Stendhal syndrome. And it's basically where people are so overwhelmed by beauty that they kind of have like almost a psychotic break. Like they can't, they're almost frozen, like in the rapture of an artwork. It happens at the foot of the statue of David or like in front of Raphael paintings. And I have definitely been just moved to tears by art before. One of the ones that I remember the most is this painting of Van Gogh's bedroom. And I could just feel him in this painting so intensely that just tears just started flowing down my face. But I wonder if there's an equivalent for music that just floors you so hard that you're like immobilized. You're like, but people this regularly happens in Florence, that people are taken to this hospital to sort of like have it eventually wear off, you know? Yeah. Oh, Jenny says, me too, the Aboriginal art in Australia. Yeah. Yeah. There's certain things that just contain such, it's like codes, soul codes or something that, and it's different for every person, right? Like the music that hits you or the art that hits you may have zero effect on someone else, or the opposite effect where they're like, I don't like that one. It's so interesting to me. But yeah, watching footage of him singing and playing live was just, it was like, yeah, it was like watching some otherworldly creature. The sounds that come out of him are like primal and angelic at the same time. Letitia is checking in anxious. And Sherilyn is saying she is so groggy today. Pamela is here. Good morning, Sherilyn. Good morning, Pamela. Pamela's morning all, checking in, feeling rested and happy to be here. Fantastic. Soul Codes. You know what? I just put a book called Soul Codes in my little library because I was like, yeah, I've had this book for like 18 years and I haven't cracked a cover. I think it's time to let this book go be fondled and read and loved by somebody. I am such an animist. I'm like, the book is getting sadder by the day, sitting on my shelf unread. I need to let it move on. Yeah. I haven't drawn anything. That is not a parrot in my house. That is a squeak toy echoing through the kitchen. Sometimes those squeak toys, the sounds are just so funny to me. It's 20 past. I'm just noting the time for my own leadering. I feel like I always see it around now, and then from here on out, I lose it, and it'll all of a sudden be 8:31, and I'm like, what are some experiences that you all have had where art of any kind has just moved you so much? I remember sitting in I was in St. Louis for a independent movie festival. Can't remember why I was there. I feel like someone that I know had something in the festival and we went to support. This was a long time ago, like 2005 or something. And there was a documentary, I think it was called Shakespeare Behind Bars. And it was about this man who went into prisons and did programs where he had inmates reading Shakespeare and performing Shakespeare plays. And over the course of this documentary, you really, really got to know some of these guys. And some of them had done terrible things, really terrible things. But they were truly remorseful and changed. And studying Shakespeare helped them see like how kind of human their violence was and how human their redemption was. And at the end of the movie, this one guy who had been up for parole so many times and had never been released, he was up for parole, and you just really, really, really thought he's going to get it. He's going to be free. He's going to get to go home. He's going to... And it was denied. And my friend and I couldn't leave the movie theater. We were crying so hard. Just the two of us, like, bawling. And I was like, that is an amazing piece of art, telling an amazing story in a way so moving that we were, like, incapacitated. Wow. And while I told that, this very kind of beautiful thing came out. Pamela says, I love that. Fondling a book. Like, have you fondled a book today? Yeah. I just read The Hunter. It's kind of an older book. I think it was made into a movie. And I think it's about either Australian or New Zealand. I think it's set there, Australia or New Zealand, I'm not sure. And it was very gripping. I read it in like 3 days. Sorry, here we go. Ms. M saying, go, Louie, go. Sherilyn says, I saw Swoon, the canyon in Cincinnati, wood prints, and large pasted paper women. It was overwhelming. Wow. And Jenny says, seeing Klimps the kiss in real life. Oh my God, that, me too. Me too on that one. Yeah. Pamela says, Sing the movie. So touching. Ooh, I'm gonna write some of these things down. I love this. And right when someone shares something that moved them so much and you see it, it's like an insight into that person that you know as well. Like, oh wow, this is what blew you away. Pamela says, I've been moved by so many art forms, but probably music and dance hit me the deepest. I remember seeing, it was actually on a network TV dance competition show, a performance that, I was just crying. It was so beautiful. It was partners dancing. It wasn't like modern dance. A man and a woman, and man, it was so beautiful. Oh, Pima. The movie Pima about Pina. Now I can't remember her name. She was a German choreographer, and there's a fantastic movie with a lot of her pieces performed, and some of them are so emotionally rich. Yeah. Pina Bausch. Pina Bausch? I think that was her name. Skyle says, microorganisms endlessly toiling to create humus. Yeah. Isn't that the process of art, too? Deb says, yes, there was a nude sculpture that came into the Denver Art Museum when I was a kid. My parents took us there often. The flow of the sculpture is so beautiful. Art in motion. Like I felt I could see her breathe. Years later, same impression. Wow. That just gives me chills. Jenny says, at the end of the All of Us Strangers movie, I just sat in silence for quite a while. All of Us Strangers. I am writing these down, y'all, because I love the experience of just being rocked by art. Oh, Deb says about the sculpture, I almost missed her if I was visiting and didn't go in my adult life. Amy says, yes, Pina Bausch, but the movie I think is called Pina. And it's so good, and the music in that is so good, and yeah, that's a great doc. And that's kind of old now too. That might be like a 10-year-old movie now or something. Gosh, time, so relentless. Oh, speaking of time, it's 28 past. So if anything has come up for you in your practice today and you want to share in the chat, an I am willing statement if that feels true for you. Mine is, I can't find quite words for it yet, but it's this sense of like in order to be awed by that, you have to be, there has to be an opening in you, right? And so it's kind of like I'm willing to be open to inspiration or to awe or to beauty. I'm not sure. Maybe it's a beyond words thing and I don't put words to it. Deb says luminosity. Sherilyn says willing to push through the sludge. Sherilyn, and also let yourself rest. Yeah. I know that you are wise and know when to push and when to rest. Pamela says, I cooked and ate a yummy veggie omelet. Drawing to come. I'm willing to open all my senses. Ooh, I love that. That's kind of what I'm talking about. Yeah. Just that it's the senses and the heart that need to be open to be able to get hit by, like, I went to a show the other night and turned the corner, the sun setting, the Transamerica Pyramid is there glowing like pink, orange, yellow. I'm at the top of a hill. I have this incredible vantage point, and it's just like takes my breath away, like that kind of thing. Yeah. Oh, Dib says, thanks for stirring my memory bank. And Jenny says, soul codes. Her mandala is soul codes. You're very welcome, Skyle. 8:30, everybody. Hugs to you. May you be wowed by beauty today. We are surrounded by it. And yeah, pronoia. The whole universe is conspiring to just love us. Ms. M says, visceral reading, alchemy, luminosity, love. I'm so glad. Wow. I almost didn't read that. Bye, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll see you in the ethers tomorrow. Same time, same place.